What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel today. We're on episode 5 of the Budget Battles. I know you guys are loving this series. I can tell by all the support that we are getting on every single video. I do really appreciate it. And today we are joined by Jack P. Sorare.
Yes, guys, can't wait for this one. Massive fan of the Budget Battles. Thanks to Josh for having me on his channel. Let's get stuck into it.
Now, for those of you guys that don't know Jack, he does have a great Sorare channel, and it's a little bit of a different dynamic actually, because him and his brother sort of work together to get the best Sorare awards. So it's quite a good, camaraderie that they have. Unfortunately, my brother does not enjoy football as much as his. So yeah, if you like that sort of idea or concept, be sure to go check out his channel. That will be linked in the description down below. So without any further ado, let's get on to the rules for today then. So starting things off, me and Jack are of course going to have to agree on a competition and a budget that we would like to play against each other before the weekend. Secondly, incognito. What I mean by that is me and him are pretty much going to make the lineups or the lineup building phase on our own, just so we don't spoil the surprise at the end for each other. And last but not least is giveaway, and that means the loser will have to give away one of the players from their squad, and how we decide that is by a spinny wheel. If you want to be entered to the giveaway, make sure you follow us both on X or Twitter. Please note as well, XP and collection bonus will not be counted for this competition. Let's go. So with the rules out of the way today, me and Jack have to decide a competition and a budget that we would like to be playing in. And I'll be honest, Jack, I'm having a bit of a stinker recently. I'm in a bad run of form. So, with that being said, if it's okay with you, I'd like to pick the competition today.
Go on, go for it.
Because I'll tell you what, I'm putting my bad run of form down to the fact that I keep playing in like contender and challenger, and I just have no idea about them competitions. So I look back at it and I was thinking, I need to just play what I know, and hopefully I'll start scoring some better scores. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I would like us to play in the Premier League competition. I actually don't mind if we do classic or in season. I'll let you decide that with, I guess, the budget that you want to go with.
Okay. Okay. I'm glad for that as well. Obviously, Premier League is my cup of tea as well. I'm glad you didn't go for contender or challenger, so I will take the Prem all day long. In terms of budget and whether it's classic or in season, I'm honestly open as well. I don't play limited, so I don't know budgets that well. So
Okay, I'll let you know, because that's sort of like it's like the only thing I play really is in season Premier League. I would say, like, generally speaking on the series, like £20 has been like hit there or thereabouts. So it depends how challenging you want to be, because if you want it to be like super challenging, then I'd say, like, you know, 15-20 pound in season is quite challenging. But if you want it to be a bit like a little more leeway, then maybe like £30.
So I think we'll go in season £30. And how many classic cards can you have with that in limited? One or two?
Just one.
Should we do that? Should we go? Let's go for that. £30 budget in season Premier League.
Brilliant. Sounds good. Alright, let's get into the lineup building then. Are you thinking about signing up to Sorare? If you are, then please do use my link down below in the description. All you got to do is click on that link, buy 5 cards from the primary market, and then you'll get £50 in-game market credits. That means you can have a gallery worth £100 for just 50. So we've got a £30 Premier League in-season squad to build to face off against Jack this weekend. I only had one stipulation for my squad this weekend, and it was to include a player that has a brother that also plays professional football. Now, you guys know I like to sort of relate the squad something to do with the guests, and obviously you guys know Jack does a lot of content with his brother, hence why we done that today. Now, before we get into it, I will say this is actually after the deadline, the first time I'm recording my lineup building session after the deadline, and that is because pretty much it's been a hectic week. Yeah, thank you guys so much for all the support on the channel, I will say that. But yeah, usually I do the squad you know, like Thursday evening sort of time, but my Thursday stream, my lineup building stream, was mental, and it's sort of overrun. And had work on the Friday, so unfortunately this is after the deadline. But obviously it doesn't really change much for you lot. But yeah, just letting you know why I can't sort of plug the players in with you. But we can still show you the squad and show you. I can tell you my thought process. So the squad that I'm going to face off against Jack is going to be this 5-man. Again, like I said, it's already locked in. Sorry I couldn't build it with you guys, but I've just been super busy this week. But I'll explain my picks. So we got Felipe Jorgensen in goal. Obviously, it was confirmed earlier in the week that he'll be the #1 keeper for Chelsea, so kind of a no-brainer. Obviously, you have to go classic because of the sort of budgeting. You guys know, only £30. Urian Timber is going to be the brother that we have in the squad. Then I was sort of tossing up between a few of them, but like Longstaff, Miley all have brothers. Ramsey, Chalabar, they all have like brothers that could have potentially gone in there, but I went with Urian Timber because the fixture's alright. He was only a couple of quid, and I just thought, throw him in there. Ryan Christie, very good fixture, of course, against Southampton, and very cheap and usually pretty good for AA. Which I can show you guys quickly, but yeah, pretty decent, especially recently anyway. So I thought it was good for a couple of quid. And the reason we went for a man like him is just so we could fit in the beast, Semenyo. He's going to be the main man, hopefully this weekend for me. And yeah, you can see he obviously blanked against Liverpool, but I'm hoping he can get some of these DAs against a lesser of a side in Southampton. We gave him the captain band, but I'll be honest, it was really tough to choose between him and Tillemans, because I feel like Tillemans is way better for AA, but obviously if Semenyo gets that DA, doesn't really matter. So I did have the armband on Tillemans for a long time, but last minute chucked it on Semenyo, to be honest. So yeah, this is the squad. Obviously as well, kind of goes without saying, Tillemans, very nice fixture at home as well. Yeah, I went with fixtures this time out. Obviously the past couple of budget battles I've just sort of been throwing in random squads and hoping for the best, but I thought this week let me put some actual thought behind it, and it did take me, I'll be honest, I had a couple of drafts this time out, so if I lose this one to Jack, then it is seriously fair play, because I've tried hard this episode in attempts to win this one, because I keep losing, so I need to get a win. With that being said, let's look how much we paid for each of these players then. Okay, so you lot are going to see the prices just on the side here, and obviously I'm going to run through the players just to prove it to you guys. But you guys know, obviously, we're going to be under budget. But yeah, Ryan Christie, £1.52. Urian Timber, I'd done a trade for him. He was like £2 something. He's actually gone up a little bit, but yeah, £2.89, let's just say that. Is his floor price at the moment, so we'll go with that. Semenyo we managed to pick up for £8 and 3 pence. And then Jorgensen we got a long time ago, but I'm just going off of his current floor price, which is the only way we can really do it, because I can't say that I got him for a fiver, because I got him so long ago. It has to be the current floor price. So we'll go with £12 and 75 pence. Very decent. I think he's a good goalkeeper, so that's a good one. And then the last one is again Yuri Tillemans. We got a long time ago, so we'll go off his base. We'll go off his current floor price again, which actually has gone up as well when I bought them. So hopefully this is still under budget. He was only like £3.90 something, but we'll just say £4.12 for the sake of the video. And yeah, you guys can see on the side here how much we paid for the entire squad. Let's see what Jack has built.
So just before I share with you the players that I've purchased ready for the weekend, I just want to kind of go through my thought process for this. So straight away what I did was jump to Sorare data, and just to try and find some decent fixtures in the Premier League, get the edge. So straight away, Brighton Chelsea did not appeal to me whatsoever. On the Saturday, of course, the Arsenal game did really appeal to me, including this guy right here in Timber. But we didn't go for any Arsenal players. Villa, Ipswich, very good game there for Aston Villa. I think Fulham, Nottingham Forest has a potential for a decent high-scoring game as well. Man City, Newcastle, I didn't fancy any plays from either of those clubs. Bournemouth away against Southampton. Now, I was very close to getting a Bournemouth defensive stack. More on that in a moment in time. West Ham, Brentford, and Palace, Everton. Can see some goals in them games, but yeah, none of the players didn't really tickle my fancy on that one. On the Sunday, of course, the one game there that really stood out was the Liverpool-Wolves game. Again, Liverpool players was kind of really stand out when I was scouting the market. Now, the first player that I did bring in, a bit of a surprise, they do play Nottingham Forest, high-flying Nottingham Forest at home, and that's Leno. As I mentioned a moment ago, I was very close to bringing in a Bournemouth defensive stack, so obviously Leno. But the price of Leno at £9, sorry, Kepa, but the price of Leno was £9.12. I think Kepa was about £15, £16 for a classic card. Yeah, that kind of just drew me to Leno. And yeah, Bournemouth against Southampton. I do feel like Southampton will score. I just felt, I don't think Leno will keep a clean sheet as well, to be honest, but I just felt like more the AA score. So yeah, I felt both goalkeepers and Leno and Kepa will both concede, but I just felt, with the AA and the price, Leno just edged it for me, but Kepa was a very close second. The next player that I purchased, if we just jump back, was Bournemouth's forward, Justin Kluivert. Now, again, there's a few players in this position that I was looking at. I think he was most expensive. If I just moved my head, he cost £8.47. Now, the reason why I've gone for Kluivert over Semenya, for example, and other Bournemouth attackers is that penalties. And yeah, he's involved quite a lot at the moment in time. I think Semenya did take a penalty against Everton, but I do believe, again, correct me if I'm wrong, Justin Kluivert does take penalties for Bournemouth. So he had the edge for me. Again, I think he's the most expensive player in this list. Next up is Tielemans, again at home against Ipswich. I've gone for some set pieces. Not amazing peak scores, but very decent AA. Takes corners from one side. I think shares them with Digne. So I'm just hoping Aston Villa gets some sort of corner and he can get an assist. And again, if I just move my head, it costs £3.90 for this one. So again, we had a £30 budget for this. Now, the next player that I purchased also plays for Aston Villa. However, I'm not too sure if I'll play this card. I'm more on that at the moment in time. So Disasi went to Aston Villa, I think on loan from Chelsea. He's literally just transferred, hasn't played a game yet. He was cup tied, so he couldn't play for Aston Villa, but you've got literally no defenders. He cost £1.95. Now, I've purchased him into the club. I'm not sure if I'll play him. The reason for that is I've checked Predictify. He's 60% chance of starting. You've got Konza injured, Torres injured. They've basically got no centre back. So I think he should play. And it'll be kind of last minute decision of who I do decide to play in the starting lineup. And then for the extra, I went for Andy Robertson at Liverpool. Again, share set piece with McAllister, I think Gakpo, on corners. And yeah, he's fairly decent, especially at home as well. He has some decent AA scores, so as you can see, he's capable of a decisive as well. And Andy Robertson cost me £4.12. So he comes in as the extra. And Liverpool with a nice fixture. I do say nice fixture. I can't remember who they're playing now. Let's jump back to, it was Wolves, there we go, on the Sunday. And then last but not least, so this is 6 players. Again, I've got to make a last minute decision who I put in the squad. And that is Joachim Andersen. Obviously, defensive stack with Leno. He comes into play. It only cost me £1, I think. Yeah, £1.04p. So it still takes me below the £30. I think about £28 roughly we spent on the 6 players. Obviously, we just need to pick 5. But he is literally, I brought him half an hour ago before recording this video because I saw Disasi's 60% on Predictify. So you kind of toss up last minute who decide to play. But yeah, they're the 5 players, sorry, 6 players that I've decided to buy, ready for the weekend. So let's jump in and build the 5-man squad, starting with Leno in goal, Andy Robertson as the defender, Tielemans and Justin Kluivert as the forward. Now, I'm going to put Disasi in as the extra spot. I've just got a funny feeling Tielemans with the corner and Disasi with the header on his debut. I've just got a funny feeling, but I'm going to await any news from the Villa press conference, and that could easily change last minute to Joachim Andersen, as I mentioned in the video. Captain-wise, we are going for Kluivert, solely because he's got Southampton away and potential penalties as well. Yeah, let's lock in for weekend and see how the lads perform.
What? Why has Jorgensen got to do me like that? Look, if you know, you know.
Oh, Bournemouth 3-1, please. Please don't troll me. Please. Please, Semenyo. Please be a Semenyo assist. It's not going to be, is it? I literally was going to get Tavernier, but I didn't because he wasn't on start, and he didn't start. He's come off the bench and scored instead. Oh, please, please be a Semenyo assist! It's a Semenyo assist! I don't care. I don't care. Cambridge lost. Newcastle lost 4-0. I don't give a Semenyo!
So it is the morning of Sunday, if you can't tell by the rough voice and the dodgy hair. Yesterday went fairly well for me. 4 players all played, including Disasi, which I was a bit sceptical about, as a press conference in Aston Villa said that Mings was back. But Disasi did play and put up a great score with a 60. Clivert, the captain, as well, with an assist and some decent AA. But it all comes down to Andy Robertson today for Liverpool. He averages about 62, 63 at home in the Premier League on Sorare for Liverpool. Now, I can't see Josh's score, so I have no idea how many points I do need. I could be miles off, I could need 100, I could just need 35. But if he gets somewhere around the 63 sort of averages at home, I think I've got a decent chance, especially with my captain in Clivert. But let's see how he gets on today.
So the weekend has been. How was your weekend, Jack?
Yeah, decent weekend. Obviously, Stoke got the victory, a must needed victory as well against Swansea. I don't know if you saw Baker's goal from his own half as well. All over Twitter. So overall, good weekend. Stoke won, which is unusual. So yeah, good weekend.
Nice.
What about you?
Yeah. So well, I didn't see. I must admit, I haven't seen the goal. So maybe you'll have to
Oh,
send me that after
yeah,
after we
definitely.
record. But yeah. So pretty much I've just been streaming like this pretty much this whole weekend has been streaming. But Cambridge unfortunately lost in a must-win game. So we drew the short end of the stick, I guess. But in good news, our manager has finally left the club. Thank God for that.
Who's your manager? It isn't Monk, is it? Gary? Is it Gary Monk?
Yeah, our manager's Gary Monk, and
I've just seen it
it's
on Twitter. Yeah, I've just
mhm.
seen the post on Twitter.
Yeah, he's awful. So I'm very grateful that he's left. Like I don't know officially how long he was in charge for. It felt like honestly years, but I don't think one time he listed our strongest team, if that makes sense. Like his
Yeah.
team selection was just honestly woeful. So really happy he's gone. So a bad weekend in terms of like Cambridge and Newcastle got smashed as well, and they're sort of like my so rare
Yeah.
team. But yeah, obviously Monk leaving has kind of like lifted the spirit a little bit. But yeah, all right. Without any further ado, then let's get into the results of the budget battle. All right, so into the results then. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. It's going to be an interesting one. So, Jack, are you happy to go from lowest to highest today?
Yeah, mine goes in order via lowest to high. So yeah, start with the goalkeeper. So yeah, more than
Hmm.
happy to do that.
All right, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll kick things off. Going lowest to highest, and obviously I mentioned about the goalkeeper being first. That obviously means the goalkeeper hasn't kept a clean sheet. I did go for Leno in the end, as we saw from the lineup builder, and he scored 39.2 points. So he didn't keep a clean sheet, which I wasn't expecting a clean sheet at home against Nottingham Forest, but I was expecting a bit more AA, maybe about 10. So a little bit short there, but overall he didn't concede 3. And yeah, 39.2 points Leno got me this weekend.
Okay, all right. So, just so you know, I've done round numbers. I haven't gone with the points, but it's all right. If we need to get into the points, we will. So we'll say you're on
Okay.
39, just to keep
Yeah,
it
yeah.
easy for people to follow. But yeah, so kicking things off from my side then. I'm going to start on my goalkeeper, and unfortunately, I had Felipe Jorgensen in that,
Ooh,
who conceded 3
he did.
and scored a grand total of 13 points. So,
Oh,
yeah, not the best. And I don't know if you watched the game, but yeah, just not a great performance in general, to be honest. Yeah, I do sort of feel bad sometimes for goalkeepers in Sorare because like they'll concede 3 or 4 and it's sometimes not their fault. But I feel like this one probably he had a part to play. So yeah, not ideal. Do you want to kick off with your or go ahead with your second lowest score then?
Yeah, so my second lowest score. So I did actually look at the fixtures and mentioned, and I completely avoided the Chelsea Brighton game, to be honest. And so my next player defender was Andy Robertson from Liverpool, who got a 46. Again, I'm doing mine in decimal points, but
Mhm.
46.7, so 47 points in a
Nice.
2-1 win against Wolves. Obviously, again, I expected a clean sheet against Wolves and maybe a corner assist from Andy Robertson. But yeah, I'll take the 46 well, kind of 47 points from him.
Mhm. Nice. So after 2 scores, how much have you got in total?
Ah, yes, I'm on 85.9, so 86 points, let's say.
Nice. Okay. So my second best performer this weekend. Very, very lucky here. I'll be well, lucky and unlucky. So it is my captain, and I did choose to captain Semenyo.
Ooh,
Now I don't know if you managed to see it, but he managed to get a DA right near the end of the game, which I was going crazy for on stream because obviously captain is quite important, and he was sitting on like I think 38 or something before his decisive. So yeah, luckily he managed to get 63 points with the decisive, getting the assist. And of course because he is my captain. So he scored 63, and then with the captain bonus, obviously that's an additional 31 points or so. So yeah, after 2 scores, I'm managing to be on 107 points, but that is of course with my captain. So you're on how many points?
86, let's say.
86, and I'm on
Yeah.
170 with my captain. So I'd say,
Mm.
yeah, I'd say we're about level to be fair, about level. So do you want to go ahead with your third player?
Yeah, so those that saw the lineup build it was a toss up between Disassi and Anderson from Fulham. So I did buy 6 players. Well, I was working, I completely missed, the deadline. Disassi was still in the team, and I saw later on that evening that Mings was back. So I had no other choice, and I was, kind of unsure if he's going to play or not, but he did play, and he did get Villa's best score in terms of defenders, I think, with a 60.7, so 61 points. Obviously, Villa's new signing. Again, I was expecting a clean sheet, especially Ipswich going down to 10 men. So, slightly disappointed in one way. Especially with Robertson and Asasi not picking up those clean sheet bonuses. Obviously, the 10 points plus the 4, I think, from obviously conceding as well. So, yeah, in total at the moment, I'm on 147 with those 3 players gone.
All right, so 147, but you still got your captain, so not the
I
end of
have.
the world. All right, so 147. Damn. Okay, that Dasasi not a bad one. Yeah, you got I guess a little bit lucky because that Villa team didn't perform too great. But obviously you picked the right one, so well done. Now my next player. So if you don't know Jack, I do like to have one stipulation for all of my teams in relation to the guest. So, for example, with when I played against Mike, I was using a Dutch player. When I played against Royal, I was using a player that somehow associated with him coming from Bristol and that sort of thing. So for you, I decided that my stipulation was going to be that I needed to use a player that has a brother that also plays professional football. Uh, so, because obviously you have a lot of content with your brother on the channel,
Yeah.
which I'm very jealous about. I wish my brother knew football like yours, but but yeah. So that was my requirement, and I did go ahead and pick myself a Urian Timber, because of course he has a
Ah.
brother that plays for Ajax. um, and luckily, Urian Timber managed to get the clean sheet with Arsenal and score himself 70 points. So yeah, very very lucky there because obviously I don't think I would have. Well, I know I wouldn't have picked Urian Timber without that stipulation. So a little bit lucky, but I'll take it. I'll take it. There was a couple of brothers I had to choose between. And to be honest, I didn't actually look back and see if I picked the right one, but I was stuck between him, Jacob Ramsey, and Tavernier, who actually scored for Bournemouth. But I knew Tavernier wasn't going to start, so I was like, okay, maybe not him. But yeah, Jacob Ramsey and Timber was sort of a toss-up. But yeah, managed to get the clean sheet, and after 3 players, including my captain, I'm on 177 points.
Very nice. So I'll move on to my next player, which is again from the Aston Villa Ipswich game, and that is Tillemans, who scored 40, 74 points. Don't know where 30 and 40 come from there, but very good A score from him. Yeah, the reason why I picked him, a lot of set pieces, home against Ipswich, and I was hoping maybe a corner where he took one and decided with it on the end of it. So I was praying for that. It never happened, but a very nice score of 74 from Tillemans. So that leaves me on roughly about 220 points.
Nice. And you've saved my explanation for my next player because my player was Yuri Tillemans as well.
Ah,
So we've matched on one up,
yeah.
which has happened before, you know. Obviously, quite a good fixture. So I went for pretty much the same reason as you. He's on set pieces. Looked like he would be on for a good game with that fixture. And to be fair, he did play well. Just unfortunate that Villa didn't. So yeah. So after 4 scores for me, then I'm on 251. So remind me what you're on again.
220.
So 220, but you've got your captain.
I
Um,
have, yeah.
and I'm on 251, but my captain's been used. Oh, okay, it's a close one. Okay, so do you know what? Should I? No, I'll let you go. Go on, last player.
Yeah, so my captain, did get my high score. It was in the Bournemouth game. So it was Southampton versus Bournemouth. There's a few players from Bournemouth that I had my eye on. Semenya, I mentioned you had. I had Christie as well, also in mind. I think he scored 80 or 90, so I was a bit good with that one. And then he had Clivert. Now, obviously, I needed a forward, but so it was a toss up between Semenya and Clivert. But I think Clivert was on penalties. I know Semenya took a penalty against Everton, I think, a couple of weeks ago, but I'm pretty sure Clivert was on penalties. So it's literally the only reason why I went Clivert over Semenyo. So yeah, Clivert scored 75 points with me captain, which equals 212. Sorry, 112. I wish it was on 212. So yeah, 112, and then my total score is 333.
Wow. Okay. So I would. Okay. All right. That's a pretty good score from. Really good score there from. Um, oh my god, I forgot his name. Clivert. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
I shouldn't forget because he scored a hat trick against Newcastle. So, yeah, good pick, mate. Now my last performer also plays for Bournemouth. And yeah, fortunately, the man Ryan Christie. Um,
Oh, you.
yep. I was waiting to see if you if you realised, but yeah, fortunately, I picked myself up a Ryan Christie for a grand total of £1.50, and he has
Yeah,
scored himself a lovely 94 points.
94. Oh, did he get two decisive in the end, or was he? Sure,
Yeah.
you got a goal. Did you get an assist?
Yeah, so he got a goal and an assist and a lots of AA. I believe he had 24 AA. And I don't know if you managed to see his goal, but phew, it was an absolute screamer. So he thoroughly deserved them 94 points. I'll tell you that much.
He was on my list. It was. I knew it was cheap. Obviously, I had Disasi. He was one of them. I think Semenya was another one. I was going to link up my Bournemouth players. But I decided to go for the Villa, Disasi, Tillemans for some strange reason. But I'm sure that will mean you've won. I mean,
Yes, so I can reveal that my total score was 344. So
oh,
yeah, so I've only just managed to win there because I believe, what did you score? A 330 odd?
yeah, 3-3-3. So if a clean sheet from Liverpool today or the Villa clean sheet, which I was banking on one of those two, keep a clean sheet.
Yep,
But all if buts and maybes, as I always say.
exactly.
Fair play.
Yeah, no, I think, well, I was obviously after Jorgensen had played, I might as well have a DMP with 13 points. So I was thinking, I was not exactly optimistic, but fortunately for me, Yeah, especially with Semenyo getting that decisive. This could have definitely went in your favour this weekend, but luckily I managed to win it then by 10 or so points. So a very close game, mate. Well played. But unfortunately, that does mean that Jack's team will be going on the giveaway wheel, which we will cut to now. So we're back on the wheel, and fortunately, it is not my team this time. It is Jack's. So we're gonna spin it. And Jack, is there before we spin the wheel? Is there anyone you really don't want to lose here? Who's like the person you don't want to lose?
I'll lose them all at this race. They've let me down. They've let me down. So, yeah,
You,
spin the wheel. Let's see who's on the chopping block. But yeah, I don't mind. They've let me down this week.
you know what? That's honestly fair enough. All right, let's give it a spin then. And it is going to be. Ooh, okay, all right. It's going to be Andy Robertson.
And Robertson, okay, that's fine by me.
Yeah, I was gonna say I mean, could have been worse. Could have been Kluivert, or Leno's probably the two most expensive ones, right?
Uh, you know what? Let's give two plays away. Let's give Clive away as well. Let's double up. Let's
Wow.
Robertson and Clive if that's okay.
Wow, yeah. I mean, I'm sure the community will love you for that one. So I appreciate that, mate. All right, so there you have it then, guys. Jack has been kind enough to give away two of his players that have let him down this weekend. So yeah, just a reminder, if any of you do want to get involved in the giveaway, this obviously that giveaway will be tweeted after this video, sort of the next couple of days. But yeah, as I've already stated at the start of the video, you need to be following us both to get involved in that one. So don't forget to follow me and Jack on X. Obviously, all the links will be in the description down below. But yeah, Jack, do you want to say goodbye?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on. 5 men let me down this weekend, but we go again. I want revenge. I will be back.
Brilliant. So there you have it then, guys. There is another episode of the Budget Battles with Jack P. Sorare. Obviously, fantastic to be filming with so many content creators in the space. With that being said, massive shout out to Jack. Obviously, guys, everyone that has participated in this series has taken out, a lot of time out of their day to make these videos possible. So, with that being said, I do really appreciate if any of you can go to his channel and subscribe. Same with all of our guests on the Budget Battles. Maybe leave a comment on their videos and let them know you're grateful that they participated in the series and helped me on my journey in YouTube. Yeah. So with that being said, obviously massive shout out to you lot. Like, the channel has been crazy recently, so I did want to mention that in my next video that I make, which is this one. And yeah, obviously, like I said at the start of the year, the goal is to get something on the channel every single day, even if it's a short or live stream, whatever. Just try and upload as much as I can, as consistently as possible, and hopefully you guys keep up with me, because I'm setting the pace, so hopefully you boys can keep along in the journey. I'm having loads of fun doing it, so I hope you boys are enjoying the content. So yeah, with that being said, just want to do want to reiterate, obviously fantastic to record with Jack, goes without saying. Absolute pleasure. Proper workhorse as well, like as soon as I gave him something to do, he was on it. So that was like brilliant to work with. With that being said, if you guys are yet to see someone that you want to see on this series, obviously tagging them or commenting on their stuff and just saying get involved in Budget Battles, whatever, or tagging me and whatever, then that does definitely help sort of the interaction, I guess. That if you show that content creator that you want them to participate on my channel, then obviously it's going to incline them more to do so. So yeah, with that being said, do appreciate all the support as always. Please do leave a like and subscribe if you're new, and yeah, we'll catch you guys in a future video. Peace.